What's going on, everybody? It's Mark here with another video, and today, what's going on? Where's my couch? It's behind the cameraman, but there's a reason for this. Today, I have the opportunity of making my dream desk. So you might be asking yourself, why is there a door behind you? I thought you were making a desk. What? Door, desk? What's going on? I'm changing the purpose of this door right here. Purchased it for $10, and I'm turning it into a desk. You might be asking yourself, how? Why? What are you doing? Well, if you can combine a $10 desk with some cheap legs and a nice drawer, you have yourself the best desk real estate. Look how big this is. This is 70 inches by 30 inches, which is bigger than anything you can probably buy, even at IKEA, for the price of $10. $10, you might ask. That's cheap. You know where you buy it? You buy it at your local charity. I got mine at, what's it called? Habitat for Humanity. Every dollar spent there gets put towards a good cause. So you're helping out, you get a cheap desk and huge desk real estate. All right, let's get into it. So what you gotta think about when using a door for a desk, especially a used one, is which side you want to use as your surface. So here, as you can tell, it's pretty beaten up. And that's the look I'm going for. However, on the other side, there is significantly more damage. There are some stains here. The ply is coming off on the edge, which looks great, except when it comes to practicality, I'm not sure how practical that is. So I will definitely choose the other side. Because this is a used door, there's gonna be some imperfections. It's not gonna be a perfectly smooth surface. If you run your hand on it, there's gonna be some grains, some sand, something along the lines of when you write with a piece of paper, this is gonna make a hole. So the way I think I'm gonna tackle this problem is using two sanding blocks. I have some 60 grit and some 220 grit. I'm gonna give this a really quick sand. I'm not trying to get rid of any sort of layers, just the sand that got stuck on it throughout the years of use. So, let's cut to the sanding. Okay, so now that everything's cleaned up, sanded down, we gotta install two of the legs. So what I just did is measured 5 inches away from each corner on the opposite end of where the drawer is gonna be. You guys gotta keep in mind that this has to be done on the bottom of the table and on the opposite end of the drawer. So just keep that in mind. I almost screwed it on the wrong end. So we're just gonna place the leg mounts at the designated spots. Okay, so we got the table, the desk, the door upstairs. Now we gotta make some room for it. So this is the old setup, is a glass corner desk. I don't like corner desks, hence the new desk. I find that there's no good real space to be productive, especially if it's a second monitor, which I used to have, which I just recently took down. First things first, now we gotta take it apart, and then we'll have some more room to do some work. So we cleaned the area, there's no more desk, we swept, everything's nice and pretty for a new desk setup. And I just want to touch base on the drawer that I'll be using. So I installed two of the leg mounts, and now on the other end, we're gonna be using the IKEA Alex drawer, very basic, very, you can find them at any IKEA, you can order them online, they have great shipping options and it's not that expensive. And one thing that I want to install now, prior to actually making the setup functional, is the LED strips at the back of the desk. The reason I want to do this now and not later is because once everything's set up, getting to the back of the desk could be a pain in the butt. And the way I'm going to do this, usually with the LED strips, they come with an adhesive back, but I actually stole this off the setup back at home. Right now I'm at school, and the adhesive was so strong to the desk that it actually ripped off the cable. So what I'm going to do to solve this issue, instead of buying a new one for like 25 bucks or whatever, I'm using the IKEA cable management kit. Comes with a bunch of zip ties, Velcro, little 3M double-sided stuff, and this is exactly what I'll be doing. this actually fits perfectly in the groove. So I'll install a few of them along the edge of the desk. And conveniently, the desk at home was the same length as this one here. And I know that I'm gonna have all the cables go to behind the drawer. So that's where I'm gonna be routing it to. I'm not gonna install it so that the receiver is on the other end. I'm gonna receive it with the drawer. So why don't we get ahead and do that. Okay, so my idea here is I'm gonna probably put like 4 or 5 along the edge of the desk and then have a little space here to let the cable drip down into the receiver. So these are just gonna stick right on, I think. Yeah, they're on there. Take the sticker off. Around here. Cool. And line over here. Last one, let's put over here. 1, 2, good. Now, let's run the LED strip inside the grooves. Inside the grooves like that. Now using the zip ties that come with the kit, you can very easily time into place. And there we go. Okay, what I noticed was that these grips or these ties give a little bit of freedom for the actual LED strip to move. But in the kit, I noticed they have these little, focus on that, these little clips that that can be used to, I don't even know what the hell they're used for, but we can use them in over here like that. Hammer that in. We can hammer that in real quick. And there's no more wiggle on this room here, on that side over there, sorry. And here, we'll just kind of MacGyver that there. Voila. And there's no more wiggle for the LED strip. Final thing to do with the LED strip is cut off the zip ties. There you go. We now have an LED strip on the back of the desk. So the concept behind my setup is that it's going to be running off of my 15-inch MacBook Pro, but I don't want anybody to know it's running off a laptop. So what I'm going to do to solve that issue is actually somehow figure out how to put it in one of these drawers, so that in the drawer will be the computer that everything's running off of. But unfortunately, this drawer here has a back. So what I'm going to have to do is drill a hole for all the cables. So why don't we go ahead, do that, and hopefully all the cables fit. So first things first, take out the drawer. And we're gonna have to figure out how deep we have to cut the hole. So I'm gonna try to aim for about middle of this drawer here. So that's about 1 foot. Get the drawer out of the way. So on the back yesterday, I already pre-measured this. I thought about it. Happens to be right where this mark, second mark is. So, what's construction of a desk without some holes, you know? All right, wish me luck. Okay, so now that we have the hole in the back of the drawer, we're gonna have to create a hole in the actual pull-out section of the drawer, just so that we can actually reach the set of computer. So the way I wanna do this is I'm gonna put the drawer into its final position and take a Sharpie and mark up a hole on the end, except I need a Sharpie. Found one. Okay, so now that we have everything lined up, what I'm gonna try to do is hit the center of the hole, make a nice little dot. They don't have to be perfectly aligned, but relatively in the same area would be best. Now, let's pull out the drawer. We now know exactly where to drill in the back of this to achieve the same hole. So in 3, 2, 1. So now that we have the hole drilled in the actual pull-out section of the drawer, we're gonna see if it lines up properly. I've never seen anything line up more perfectly than what that just did. Perfect. Now the only thing left to do is tie in the legs and put it all together. Here comes the last leg. And let's see if she works as perfectly as I had hoped. Pull that out. And the desk is built. Now there is one thing missing, the main ornament of this desk. Let me go grab it in a second. And what new build isn't complete with a new monitor? This is the 34UM88C by LG. It's an ultra wide 21:9 monitor. I mean, it's not curved and it's not this year's 38 inch, but I think it'll do the trick. 3, 2, 1. Voila. Alright guys, thank you very much for tuning in this video. I will be doing a desk setup as soon as possible. I'm going to be fidgeting around with all the settings, all the heights, a little bit of speakers, still picking those out. But that's it. Thanks again, and please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons down below. And as always, brownie points. Follow me on all my social media down below. Thanks again. My phone is shaking. Whew. That is much louder than I anticipated.